It's a strange thing to go from, hiking and doing 10K runs to walking down the sidewalk, and the driveway has a bit of a slope to the sidewalk, worrying about that angle, because that angle created enough pressure on my ankle that it was painful. That's when it was really a problem. My name is Chris Podak. I was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis in 2016. And I received my diagnosis, and I was basically given the understanding that this is something for life, and I'm likely facing pain for long term and medications for long term. And so to think, that I have to deal with this pain for life, or lack of mobility for life, that was really hard. Probably the mental aspect, right, was the psychological aspect was more difficult.
It could be a real shock or a blow to realize that you have to make adjustments over the totality of your life, that it's not something that you can make go away, but it is something that you can learn to live with and figure out how to live a good life once you learn a little bit more about how arthritis is affecting you personally. The term self-care actually has a lot of meanings depending on the person who's using it. So for some people, it means everything they do to take care of themselves and live a healthy lifestyle. And for others, it means some very specific activities. So as an occupational therapist, I can tell you that we learned the term self-care to refer to the tasks of everyday living that people do. But more recently, people use self-care to talk about taking care of their physical and emotional and psychological health.
It was intimidating, managing a new diagnosis like ankylosing spondylitis and having a family and having a career and wanting to be active and trying to balance all that. But really my family was number one as a motivator. I wanted to stay active. I wanted to be strong as a father for them and be able to go to work and provide for my family in that way. With the joint pain that I was experiencing, I had to change some of my activities. Change my focus on exercise to do what I enjoy and what feels good. Like I used to do a lot of running, but running was very problematic, especially when my knee and my feet were swollen. And I started swimming. So I was never really a swimmer. And now I'm doing up to 2.5 kilometers swimming, lake swimming. I've really progressed, and it's a great low impact exercise. I put myself on an elimination diet, cut out a lot of foods until I would feel a lot better. Or once I got to that point with my rheumatologist's permission, I would start to cut back on medication. So I would be taking 6 pills of naproxen per day. I'd try and cut it down to 5 to 4 and see if I could sustain that, or if I needed to change my diet or increase my medications again.
A healthy diet does make a difference. It helps you sleep better. It helps you move better. And so it generally helps you feel better or have a better response to some of the ups and downs of daily life, including arthritis symptoms. But also don't beat yourself up. Not everybody can follow these really strict elimination diets. You do the best you can with what you got.
Started with the foot bath in the evenings just to cool my feet down, basically. They were swollen, they were red and physically hot. So for me, the ice was the best. And once the swelling comes down, it gives me more mobility, then I can stretch and then I can move around, and which helps as well, right? It's like a synergistic effect, right?
We would all like a world that had no arthritis in it, or can be a chronic and lifelong condition that does have an impact on people's day-to-day lives. So while research on finding a cure or finding the best medication is really important, in the meantime, there are thousands of people who are living with the effects of arthritis. So researchers at Arthritis Research Canada kind of cover that full gamut of health services research, but also practical research that helps people get on with their day-to-day lives. And what types of self-management or self-care strategies really work, what types of physical activity, what types of modifications or adaptations in the workplace or in the home enable people to live a productive and satisfying life.
If you were just diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis, What I would probably say to you is what I kept telling myself: fall down 9 times, get up 9 times, and find out what works for you. And when I was trying different diets, so different for different people. So it's important to find what works for you and listen to your body, and definitely don't give up. So there's more care definitely that's involved in my life now. But in a way, there's a lot of good things that have come from my diagnosis. Like I've made so many positive lifestyle changes. I've learned so much about this condition. And I think by sharing, I've been able to help others with it too.